When it comes to autistic ideas, I have plenty, and this one is going to cause me the most pain. Welcome to my New Year's vlogolution. Looking back now, I could have come up with a lot better name, but we're sticking with that one. Now, if you're confused by what I mean, I'm going to be posting a video every day in January, which is going to cause me a lot of pain because that is a lot of recording, a lot of editing, every single day of the month in January. So welcome, this is the first video, and we'll be going over everything that we're going to be tackling in January, some of the things we're hoping to achieve. So let's get rid of this name and create a list. So, starting off strong, 300ZX progress. Now, as you'll see in my section, I have my 300ZX. Now, there's parts for it there, 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 there. Obviously, here we have the engine. That's not rust, that's just a used piston. But no, they're E46 parts actually, and that's a random air compressor. But yeah, the rest of it, 300ZX parts. And there's some more bits down there somewhere. But basically, by the end of this January series, I want to have the 300ZX basically all under sealed. Suspension will be stripped, all that kind of stuff done to it. New lines, basically just getting it back to a position where once I've built the engine, which hopefully will have some more parts arrive in January, where we can start building it and hopefully get it to the point where we can just drop that engine straight in. Now, of course, a whole video by itself is going to be stripping all this out of here. Probably end up leaving the brake lines in because it's more fuss than it's worth. But everything else, taking it out, take the subframe out, just underseal the lot after rubbing it back, and hopefully have it looking tidy and ready to go back together. And as for the engine, the heads for it are currently away, so we can't really make much progress because the heads are the next ingredient that need to go on before we can start putting the likes of the turbos on, or even just any of this stuff. The heads are the next step. So whilst we're waiting for those to get back, we can make progress on the actual car. Now, if you don't know, a bit of a rundown on the car, however you say it. I'm autistic. So I bought this 1991 300ZX twin turbo Targa top. No, not manual. I'm too poor for a manual, so I need to convert it. Auto for £3.5 grand, with what was supposedly on 109,000 miles. It was actually 109,000 kilometers. So it's actually sat on 66,000 miles. So the actual body of it, under the thickness of dust, is fine, but the engine was seized solid. So far I've had the engine bored out to 88mm, put some 88mm pistons in. They were 87 as standard. If we go over here, you can see the state of the old pistons that came out of there. But hopefully we can start getting this back together because I'm aiming to run about 500 wheel horsepower from this. But of course, that's not just going to happen magically. We have 2 auto boxes down here for some reason. Just need to sell them and get a manual box, the exhaust, of course, and then all the rest of the front end. We love the logo over there as well. But yeah, there's a lot to do on this car, so you'll be seeing this car a lot throughout January. Second on the list, trade-up series. Now, if you follow me on TikTok, you will know that I had a 2012 Seat Ibiza, which I sold for £900, which is essentially the start to a trade-up series for an Alfa Romeo 4C. Now, the 4C has been a dream car of mine for quite some time now. I've always loved Alfas, and I want one. It's like the ultimate MX-5, really. Light, nimble, but it actually has power, unlike an MX-5. So basically, I'm on the lookout currently for the next car to the series, budget being £900, to where we can start just flipping them over and over again until we can get to that 40 grand mark of an Alfa Romeo 4C. Other than that, that's pretty much the trade-up series. There's not much else to say about it. I just need to find the right car to move on. Now, we will cover these 2-in-1 MX-5 content and the MX-5 body kit. And once again, if you follow the TikTok, you'll know that here at the unit, we love an MX-5. Primarily crystal blues, and not a single one of these is mine. This is Liam's old one, where the bottom end of that is knocking, and the sills on that are very rusty. This is one we bought to shell swap, and we didn't realise it was a 1.6, and that's a 1.8, so we'd have to swap the whole loom. So we bought another one that works perfectly fine, so now we've just got these two sat here. But this one here in particular stands out to me because it's a solid body, and I'm going to be creating a custom body kit for one. And by that I mean a fully custom one, as in I'm going to be masking off the whole side of the car, expanding foam, and shaping my own body kit, taking a fiberglass plug off of it, and mass producing a body kit for an MX-5. Of course, that's going to be a very time-consuming process. Trying to get everything even on both sides is such a task and takes a lot of measurement and a lot of time. So it's not something that will be done by the end of January, but I would like to have made good progress on it and see how far we can actually get it. Now I'm looking at doing just one video, going over it, designing it, drawing out a few things, trying to get your guys' opinion on anything you think should stay or change on it, and just making a community-wide MX-5 body kit that everyone's going to love. And of course, along the way, just anything MX-5 related, because that's just us in general. We've got that many of them that everything we do is practically MX-5 related, because they're the only cars we own that actually work. Now, unit renovations. Spray booth plus my area. So, the spray booth is here. Liam's RX-7 is currently sat inside it. What we're going to be doing is plasterboarding and insulating this whole thing and having it as a spray booth, because that's going to get sprayed, that's going to get sprayed, that's going to get sprayed, and of course we need a warm area to make the body kit, because for the gel coat and fiberglass to set, it needs to be kept under certain conditions, and right now it's pretty chilly in here. It's like 4 degrees, and of course January is going to get even colder, so we need a warm space to be doing that kind of stuff. So that's the spray booth. Now onto my area. Now my area is very messy and a bit depressing because there's not a lot of colour in here. That's the most colourful thing, and it's faded, other than the collection of monster cans. But what the plan is once the spray booth's done, we're going to knock that wall down and push all the wheels back in there, just to open out a bit more space so it's a bit more usable. We're also going to plasterboard all the way round and just maybe graffiti on one of the walls, or have like posters and stuff, just to bring some vibrancy into the area so that it doesn't look like a farm shed. And of course, have a bit more organisation than just stuff on the floor or piled up on top of racks. We'll get a proper toolbox set up. We've got my handmade shelves over there, which are still somehow standing. But we're just going to renovate this whole area so that it's actually not an eyesore anymore. And we've got a massive stack of number plates, which we'll find somewhere for them. We'll find somewhere for the monster cans. We'll find somewhere for some Hot Wheels cars. So there's a lot of ideas that are in circulation at the minute for this area. It's just putting pen to paper and designing something. Now, 6th on the list is car reviews. I've got some mates with some pretty cool cars, and I'm going to go and review some of them. I probably won't get to drive them because some of them are quite rare and quite high-powered cars, but we're still going to go and review them, and we're going to sort of just have a look at some of the UK's most modified examples of cars. It's not going to be stock cars, because if you want a stock car review, go watch somewhere like CarWow. If you want a modified car review, stick around and we'll see what we find, because there are some very exciting cars that I'm going to be making videos on. And of course, you may have seen number 7, which was podcasts. Now, it's not actually going to be a Spotify podcast, but me and a few mates, we're going to sit down, we're going to get the cars behind us, and we're going to just evaluate some of the topics, some of the things going on within the car scene at the current time of filming that video. Now, this could be anything from newly released cars to stuff we're doing to our cars to stuff like fans send in. We will just go over every topic, have a little chat about it, maybe have some drinks, and just have a bit of a giggle, and probably shout and get really annoyed at each other because we never agree on anything. But if you want to see conflict and arguments, make sure to stick around for that. And as for the final, I've rubbed it, everything's just falling over. But as for the final item on the list, car ratings, I'm going to put a post out on my Instagram and I'm going to ask you guys to submit pictures of your cars, because that was not meant to happen. I have a big open wall. I have many big open walls, and this is slightly in the renovation idea. But what we are going to do is have an old school style Top Gear cool wall here or there or there or wherever we find space, wherever I like. So we'll get people to submit their cars and stick them on the wall. You'll become a part of history of the unit. You'll get a picture of your car on the wall. It might be an absolute shed and will put you in the worst rating possible, and you'll probably cry for weeks because you got rated as an absolute shitbox when you thought your car was amazing. But we will just leave that. Or you might have a very cool build, or you might have an absolute shitbox that it doesn't belong to be down there. We just push it all the way to the top because it's so shit, it's actually cool. A bit like the Honda logo. Maybe we can make it a multiple part series, because let's be honest, you guys love to get involved, as seen from events we've set up in the past. So it'll probably end up being a 2-3 part series where we just go over ranking your cars. So make sure to go over to my Instagram. A link will be in the description. And keep an eye out for when I post a story for rating your cars. Submit a picture, and we will get it printed off and assigned somewhere on the wall. Now, of course, they aren't the only videos that are going to be filmed. There'll be a little bit of a mix of other stuff in there. I might do stuff to friends' cars. Might work on the E46, because I jacked that up the other day and the jacking point just went up into the sill. So it's quite rotten. I say quite rotten. Not as bad as that. So I'm actually going to make an effort to put it back on the road. I can just see bits hanging off it from here. But there will be a massive variation of videos, one every day, to keep you guys entertained. So if this is something that you're looking forward to, make sure to subscribe, to stick around and find out what happens. This is still probably going to be sat here by the end of the month. But we'll see. We might actually make Japfest. Don't know what year Japfest, but we'll make a Japfest at some point. So I will see you tomorrow.